chasing those blue butterflies.
Tell people what's going to happen tonight.
Hello and welcome to Shelley, Carney Live Stream Coach. Tonight we'll be talking about connecting the tech that keeps the Encore entrepreneur connected. We're going to stay pretty basic. For those of you who are beginners, this will be a really good program to help you make some decisions about how to set up your home studio and use that studio to its fullest potential so that you can create a social media storm of content to grow your business and reach the world with your message.
So I was thinking, do I need to keep going back and forth between your presentation and the shop?
No. You'll see when to go to the shop.
Well, but after the presentation.
Yeah, there'll be a slide that talks about it.
Okay.
So we'll know. I'm all prepared for you.
Are you an Encore entrepreneur, over age 50 and want to produce a live stream, podcast, and blog to expand your brand and business? Come experience live stream coaching with Shelley, Carney, and Toby Younis. Every week you'll receive motivation, encouragement, and supportive tips and tools to design a creative media campaign that will attract an audience full of friends, leads, and new clients. Subscribe today and discover the steps to mastering technology, content creation, and digital marketing that will bring you success, fun, and fulfillment as you expand your branded online presence.
All right. So let's get started today with our slides. Maybe I should have asked how you were doing today. I didn't even ask you that. How are you doing today?
Well, I was doing okay, kind of quietly, and then we had to just come in and do this.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay, though. I think you're going to like it.
I think I am, too. I always like your shows.
So we're talking about connecting the tech that keeps the Encore entrepreneur connected. And we're going to keep it as simple as we can. So what you're seeing here, we're not going to be showing you how to do any of that or buy any of that.
They can't see you doing that. The arrow has to be over there.
You see the pad for drawing and the sound board. I guess that's what that is. I'm not even sure myself. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into this doohickey. We're not going to get into dual screens. We won't be talking about
studio monitors.
But other than that, we're going to keep it simple, and I think it'll be very helpful. I believe technology is a set of tools that anyone can master and integrate into a foundation for the success of their online business. That's why we want to keep it simple at a beginner level for those of you who are just getting started. I'm Shelley Carney with AGK Media Studio. We both work with Encore entrepreneurs who want to grow their home-based online business. And they're frustrated because they're not getting enough prospects or they're overwhelmed by social media options and technology. They just want to feel confident that they can easily and consistently connect and network online to share their message with the world. And that's what we're here to help you with.
Do you feel like right now you're sharing your message with the world?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So here are the 3 questions we're going to answer today in this presentation. Number 1, what activities do online entrepreneurs perform? Number 2, what tech do you need to connect online? And number 3, what strategies utilize that tech most effectively? Let's start with number 1. What activities do online entrepreneurs perform? Well, I think you're going to find this familiar if you have any business training at all. Number 1,
Okay.
Number 1, backwards. Number 1, increase visibility, right? We want to increase our visibility online so people can find us, so people can learn what we do. We can stay top of mind. And how do we do that? We can do that organically through posting a variety of media, including video, audio, images, and text. We can post that all over the internet, right? If somebody Googles you, they should easily find you because you post everywhere. And that's organic, meaning it's not paid advertising. Number 2 is paid advertising. But you're still going to be using video, audio, images, and text for advertising. So whether it's organically free or paid advertising, it's still going to require that you come up with video, audio, images, and text.
And paid advertising, our experience with paid advertising doesn't get us any more increased visibility or credibility than what we do organically. As a matter of fact, it seems to me that the organic work that we do is far more beneficial in the long run than any paid advertising we've tried. That doesn't mean necessarily everyone shouldn't try paid advertising, because it does work for some people. But if you're just starting out and your marketing budget is the equivalent of nothing, then organically.
If you have more time than money,
Yeah.
definitely want to go with the organic route.
Exactly.
The number 2 thing you need to do is establish your credibility. And how can you do that? You can do that through speaking engagements, or you can be speaking on a different social media platforms. Like you could come on our Messages and Methods, you could speak, tell your story. Or you could be on Clubhouse in a room speaking, telling your story, sharing advice. Anytime you get the opportunity to speak in public, in person, or online, take that opportunity and make the most of it. You can also speak by being a podcast guest or podcast host, and people will hear you and your ideas and get to know you through your speaking. Or you can be publishing, writing articles, blog posts, and a book. Put together a book is not that hard. You can put together several blog post articles over a 6-month period, edit them, put them into book format, and publish it on KDP. There's no charge for that. And then you have it up on Amazon, and you can promote it there, and you can go out and podcast about it and tell the world that you've written this book. And of course, you can have your articles, blog articles on WordPress or Medium or LinkedIn or all of them. You can put your article into a lead magnet and you can share it that way. So publishing articles is going to do a lot for you as well to establish your credibility. In fact, I know that there are people who book speakers for events who don't book anybody who hasn't got a book, right? If you haven't got a book, we're not going to have you as a speaker. It's that simple. So it tells the people who book speakers, if you've written a book, that you're serious about it, that you have enough information and knowledge on the topic to write a book. So it tells them a lot. So work on that. And then to establish credibility, you can also provide value in answers. That could be on Clubhouse, that could be through Reddit or Quora, one of those that where people ask questions and you provide your expert opinion, or you could just provide those answers in small videos, short videos that you put up on social media as well. Did you want to add?
Well, only in the sense that without credibility, without particular credibility in a topical area, you're not going to ever get to the point where you can get to the place in a transaction with another individual that they start to trust you. They have to believe that you know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And advertising doesn't do that. Advertising is an attractor, right? But advertising doesn't tell them who you are. Advertising does help build visibility, but until they hear your story, until they hear what you're about and how you acquired your knowledge and or your experience or your expertise, all of that, until they have that story in hand, they're not going to have any sense of credibility. So there is a big difference between building visibility, as Shelley said earlier and suggested to you, using social media platforms and proliferating on those platforms in a variety of ways. You've got to get to that trust level, the credibility level, by proving you know what you know. And you've heard me say this before. I believe that the world is divided into writers and speakers. And Shelley builds her credibility. She's a writer. And she builds her credibility by writing articles, and she's very good at those articles. My credibility comes from being able to speak, and as Shelley mentioned in that last bullet point, answering questions. Because that really helps to build your credibility. And I take advantage of that on the social audio platforms like Clubhouse. I'll go into one of the rooms with no intent to speak, but sometimes I'm invited up onto the stage to speak, and I get the opportunity to either answer a question or contribute to the answer to someone's question. And I get followers right away. And it's 5 or 6 followers every time I go in one of those rooms and talk a little bit. And that's building my credibility because I'm giving them answers they may not have heard before or that sound reasonable to them at this point in time.
That's right. Thirdly, as an entrepreneur, it's your job to go out and gain trust. So how do you do that? How do you gain trust? A lot of networking and collaboration is going to help you with that trust factor. When you work with people who already have an audience and that audience trusts them and they see that you're working in collaboration with the person they trust, then they can transfer some of that trust over to you as well. That's why it's really great to be able to collaborate, or if you're a podcaster, to get guests on who can bring their audience with them, and then they start to listen to you as well. Networking and collaboration is going to help you to build a community of trust. In fact, people that you are, on the same level, peers, mentors, and then audience followers. And then also demonstrate consistent values and integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to be on a live stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, then you need to show up no matter what. You don't have a guest, your guest fell through, show up anyway and give a presentation. Always have backup. It's always been my motto, always have backup. When you make a promise, you follow through on that promise, because if you don't, you ruin your own reputation and it only hurts you to do that. So always follow through on what you say you're going to do and demonstrate consistent values. So if you say you believe one particular thing, I'm all about, diversity and equality and raising people up so that we're all have the same opportunities, then you need to follow through on that in everything that you do. You need to be in alignment with everything that you do needs to fit into your mission statement and your values.
So this is going to sound repetitive. You've heard me tell the story before of that command sergeant major, the youngest command sergeant major in the Army. And when I asked why, he said he took every terrible job, every bad job that nobody else wanted. And there is some benefit to that when you get the opportunity to take on a task or a project or I'm not sure it's an opportunity necessarily, but if you get that chance, the best thing that you can do in terms of building trust, other people's trust in you, is to take on that job. Now, it doesn't do you any good to take on a bunch of jobs and fail at them. But one of the things that I've discovered is that most of the things that seem like they are unachievable, most of the projects that are unachievable by other people, if you just have a little bit of confidence, a little bit more confidence, usually you can get through it. I mean, that's what it takes, is just kind of saying, yeah, I'll take a look at it, and then putting the time and effort necessary to resolve the issue. Because I've learned that's another thing. Not only are people not willing to take on the hard jobs, but if they do take on the hard jobs, they're not always willing to put in the time and effort necessary to complete the task. And so if you're the kind of person who's willing to take on the jobs that nobody else wants, and willing further to put in the time and effort necessary to solve the problem associated with that job, then people will start trusting you with progressively more difficult and hopefully paying tasks. That's kind of the idea behind it. You know, you get one freebie. After that, there's going to be an invoice coming at you, you know.
That's right. And that leads us into inspire transformation. That's our fourth thing that we need to accomplish as an online entrepreneur or any kind of an entrepreneur. And we need to inspire that transformation. And some of the ways that we can do that is by leading groups or holding a mastermind or workshops or offering to be the leader, be the one who organizes the thing, sends out the invitations, starts the meetup group, whatever it is. Being that leader is going to inspire transformation. It's going to inspire people to follow. Teaching, training, and consulting will be giving out that value that people enjoy, and they will desire to be a part of that. They will desire that transformation that you offer through the teaching and training process, and converting through journey. So that's your basic customer journey, right? Bringing them into the top of the funnel and down and through the whole journey. And as you do that, you become the leader, the mentor to them, bringing them through that pathway.
So Shelley used the funnel analogy, but again, one of the elements of transformation is helping people build confidence in themselves in order to move forward. And one of the characteristics that they look for in the people that they're following, the teachers, the leaders, the people that are building mastermind groups, is that to have the confidence that they're learning what they need to learn in order to move forward. And it's sometimes I compare it, although it's not all the same. It's a the comparable experience, I guess is the best way to describe it, is raising kids, because you have to set an example by not only knowing what you're talking about, but doing what you're talking about, and so that they can see that you're being successful and that you're there to help them. I used to have this, and I still do have a rule: don't be afraid to share any of your knowledge. And I used to get pushback from that from my friends who would say, well, wait a minute, if you give them what you know, aren't you just kind of giving away your stuff? You acquire that knowledge through effort. They can listen to you. They may hear something that you've said that gives them some special insight, but that's not the same as doing it. They still have to do it and have the experience of doing it and have the experience of failing at it maybe once or more times before they're successful with it. So I've never had any problem looking at someone and saying to them, here's what I know about that, and laying it out for them. For two reasons. Number one, that's what I promised myself that I would do with other folks. And number two, sometimes you realize, or maybe they realize, that what this guy knows is so much more than I will ever learn about this topic. Why don't I just use him? I mean, I had, and I'll use my good friend Janet Bridgers, who was attending my course on documentary making. And by class 5, she came up at the end of class 5 and said, you know what, I'm never going to know as much about this as you do. Why don't you just help me make this documentary and I'll pay you this much, right? So she had a number in mind, and it wasn't anything comparable to what I was earning when I was in Washington, D.C., but she was so open, so honest. It was a good reason to do it that I agreed to do it.
And it was a humanitarian effort. So, of course, that was additional perk for you to just know that you were doing something good for the world.
Yeah, it had to do with the evolution of the environmental movement in the United States and where it all started. And so there was the added benefit of not only getting a little paycheck. I mean, it wasn't going to buy me a new car or anything, but I could buy some more toys. That's kind of it, more Toby toys.
More equipment to be able to make the documentary better. Which is what we end up doing, right?
But yeah, but what was great about it was that it was something that, although I was as environmentally conscious as anyone else was, I didn't really have a sense of the history and background. I often say that one of the most interesting elements of that entire documentary was learning that Richard Nixon, who I had no affection for, was probably the most effective environmental president in our history, just because of the laws that he was worried about losing the election. So he put into place a bunch of laws and regulations that established things. It was Richard Nixon that established the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Not many people know that.
He did do some good things.
Yeah.
People just forget to look at the good sometimes.
Right. So when you get that kind of opportunity to help someone and you're worried about, well, they're going to learn all my secrets. I'm going to tell you from experience, 35, 40 years worth of experience. Don't even let it bother you. Just do it. You'll be better for it, and so will they.
All right. And as a leader, you can start your own Facebook group. This is a good way to establish yourself as a leader. Here's our Facebook group. It's called Leveraging Your Content. In there, we live stream all 3 shows per week of the podcasting and live streaming channel, the messages and methods, and the Shelley Carney live stream coach all go into there as a live stream. And also we have additional resources in the group, and it's a good place to meet other people and do some networking and collaborating and finding podcasts, guests and hosts within there. So great place to be. Please do join us there at facebook.com/group/leveraging your content. Over here. So number 2, what tech do you need to connect online? Number 1, the most important thing, you can't do anything without high-speed internet. One of the ways you can test your internet speed is with an app called Speed Test. It's going to help you to determine if you have the speed necessary for a high quality, like if you want to do a live stream, streaming, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us nowadays are cutting the cord with our cable company. We're going to high-speed internet because we want to stream Netflix, we want to stream Disney, we want to stream all the great shows that are out there available on streaming. So we are upgrading, and that's great because it can also enhance your business, your home-based business.
So the interesting thing about this is if you assume that because you can downstream Netflix, you can stream, what is that?
Don't mean hit the table.
You can stream Netflix down. That doesn't necessarily mean you have high-speed internet to go up. And I'm going to run a speedtest.net for you just to show you when we get to the other screen. I'm going to show you what it's like and what you can learn from it. But just don't assume that if you can download a Netflix movie, which has been compressed a great deal in order to do that, that you have enough performance to do a live stream. And I'll tell you what the minimums are when we get to that point.
I don't have a separate video. We'll do it at the very end.
Yeah, no, I'll wait till we go to the other screen and then I can do it then. Okay.
Secondly, you're going to need a computer. The first that I would suggest, the top suggestion I have, is a desktop with a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse. And that you have a spot in your home where it sits, and that is your home office area. And when you go to work, that's where you are. And that you can set it up the way you like it, with lighting that's going to be helpful for you, and it doesn't move. That's number 1. That's what I would suggest, because and then you can also plug into the Ethernet, and and it's a lot more predictable when it doesn't move around, when it's in the same space every day.
What we call the space, we refer to this space as our studio. And it's important to have that sense that this is the studio. Things don't change. We don't walk in each time and there's a different computer with a different set of applications, with a differently organized Chrome. It's important to have that consistency if you're going to be doing this as often as you're expected to please your audience with. So make yourself, even if your studio, the studio at my apartment was a desk, but it had a computer that didn't move from that desk, and it had a monitor that was connected. You know, everything was there, so all we had to do was switch on. The same thing here with this studio. We can be at dinner and Shelley at 10 minutes to 7 will say, time to get started. I can come in here, turn everything on, and we're ready to rock and roll because this is our studio. And it's expected to be in a certain way. Nobody removes stuff from here. We had to remove, of course, the Rodecaster last week because we had an issue, but we have a temporary replacement, and we'll be getting the Rodecaster back in a couple of weeks. But other than that, nothing moves from here. We don't make changes. If we decide to change the computer, then we change the computer. We don't change the operating system. We don't start messing with this.
Mm-hmm.
So
the second option, of course, if you already have a high quality laptop that you're familiar with, that you're comfortable with, that's great. You can use that. The thing I like about having a desktop instead is my hard drive went out last week. It was really very simple for my husband to take out the old hard drive, put in a new hard drive, and reload the system on there, the Windows system. It was so much easier than if I'd had a laptop where everything is, you can't do much with. He couldn't have fixed it. We would have had to take it to a Geek Squad or something else, or get a whole new computer. I find that desktop computers, you can get a lot more power, a lot more memory, a lot more everything capability for a lot less money than a laptop. So again, that's my recommendation on that.
If we wanted a laptop that had the same performance, and I don't know necessarily. So for example, our desktop here has 8 USB connections, and we use them all based on the equipment that we have here. A laptop won't enable you to do that unless you use some sort of hub, and then there's competition in the hub. But a laptop comparable to what we have with our desktop, as Shelley said, would cost anywhere from 3 to 5 times as much as the desktop. Now you have the benefit of that integrated system, and you have the benefit of portability. But one of the things about all of this is we're going to ask that you don't move from that. It doesn't make any difference that the laptop is portable. It should stay in the same place all the time, even as portable as it is, if you want to be able to call it a studio.
Yeah, it's just better that way. I would recommend highly a desktop, and if you want to have something portable, a tablet.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation. Next, you're going to need a cell phone. I would suggest an iPhone 8 or newer. Or if you have an Android and prefer Android, then a Galaxy or a Pixel, something fairly new, updated, because you're going to be able to run the more complicated apps. For instance, I just upgraded to an iPhone 8 from a 6 because Clubhouse doesn't even work on a 6. It's not supported. So it doesn't continue to be supported once it gets a little too old. Once it gets more than 2 years old, then it's not supported anymore, and the apps are beyond it. So you want to kind of stay at least, closer to the newer phones if you can. If you want to use apps like Clubhouse, Facebook, and all of the social media apps. Additionally, if this is something that you're able to do, I would go with unlimited data and have it also be enabled as a hotspot. That way, if you do want to go out in the field and you have your tablet with you, or even a laptop, you can then use your phone as that hotspot and help you with that connectivity, so that you're always available to go online if you need to.
If you can, so a couple of things, as long as you're making this investment, you need a minimum of 32 gigabytes of memory. If you can get 64, 128, or 256, even better, but minimum of 32 gig. And then, of course, you want to be on one of the services that provides you a minimum of 4G LTE. And if you can afford it, get yourself a 5G capable phone. Because the difference between performance in 4G LTE and 5G is going to be like day and night. Now, they haven't filled in all the blanks yet, but it'll get here eventually. And from hearing from countries that are already implementing 5G, like Hong Kong and the area around Beijing and China, is that it's just really amazing. The speed and performance is really amazing.
So get ready for that. Next, webcam. We do not suggest using your laptop webcam if you can help it. We prefer, of course, a desktop and using a webcam. I use the Logitech C920. I recommend Logitech highly. Toby has tried some other brands, and they do not perform as well and as consistently as the Logitech. The Logitech is plug and play. You get out of the box, you plug it in, and it talks to your computer. It tells you what to do. If you need to get a driver, it tells you how to do that. And it's fairly simple. Get it set up, and it's got beautiful picture. It can go anywhere from this one that you see on there is a 1080p, and I believe, do we have the 4K on this one? 2K on the one we're using right now.
So by the time it gets to YouTube is downsizing it to 1280, 720p. Right. So putting out 4K videos is
not
crazy
necessary,
because it's not only going to choke your upstream video, but when somebody tries to watch it, if they don't have that level of performance on whatever their internet,
which is why
wireless,
YouTube and all the other, Facebook and all the others downgrade it to a 1080p anyway, or 720 in some cases.
They'll play, if you upload a 4K, they'll play that 4K for you. Now, it's still compressed. It's a compressed 4K, but the simple fact of the matter is, the person on the other end, if they don't have the same level of performance on either their wireless, their cellular, or even their Ethernet connection, it's going to get clunky for them. And especially if they're looking on a phone. At a phone, it not only gets really clunky, it's using up all their data download allotment for that month. And so they have to ask themselves, why am I going to watch this guy if I can't watch it in 1080p?
So yeah, your 1080p is going to be a really, as much as you're going to need. And it's not expensive. It's around $65-70 for the Logitech C920. And we recommend you stay with the Logitech. Yeah. Don't go with the $10 cheaper off-brand because it doesn't perform like the Logitech. Alternatively, if you already have a laptop with a webcam and that's what you're used to using, that's fine. It's not going to give you as professional a look. If, for instance, if you were on a conference call with a bunch of people on a Zoom call, and you can look and see who's got really good quality camera and lighting, and it makes a difference, right? People see that you stand out when you have high quality. Thirdly, you can use your cell phone camera. If you have a good cell phone camera and you have good connectivity, Wi-Fi where you're at, then that will do as well.
The only thing that I was going to suggest to you, if you decide to go with a laptop, make sure it's HD and not SD, because a lot of the laptop cameras play in SD. And do yourself the favor of raising your laptop up on something, books, magazines, whatever it is, so that the laptop camera is at your eye level and you're not looking down at it. That's one of the worst looks possible, and it messes up your lighting because the lighting on the top of your head is great. Yeah. So try to raise your laptop the top of your laptop screen or your camera is at least to eye level so that you can get the benefit of this good lighting.
Yeah. All right. Headset and microphone. We recommend a headset and a microphone that's attached for a lot of different reasons. But number one, it keeps the microphone right by your mouth, no matter how you turn your head or what you're doing. So, for instance, a lot of people will recommend, oh, you get the isolator arm, and then you get the Blue Yeti, and then and blah blah blah. It's too much equipment. It's going to get confusing. You're going to turn your head away, and the audio changes when you do that. And you want to have a headset so that you can hear other people. If you're having a conversation with a guest who you're having a podcast guest or somebody on a Zoom call or something like that, you're going to want noise canceling type of headset so that background noise doesn't distract you or become a part of your conversation because the dog is barking or somebody's running around in the background, opening and closing doors. You don't want all of that going on if you're doing a video or having a conversation with somebody over Zoom or something. So this is what we recommend. As you can see, the One Audio, we'll get more into the kit in just a moment. Alternatively, if you don't want to, and you already have the earbuds that came with your iPhone and it has the little mic on it, that will work as well. It doesn't work as well. It works too, but it doesn't work as well. It's not going to give you as high quality of audio and that listening ability.
And she's a good example because she has the kind of voice that sounds really, really good with this kind of microphone and this kind of audio interface. If I were to put her on the earbuds little microphone, her voice would sound tinny. It wouldn't sound anywhere near as good. Would it work? Yes. And we recommend isolating your audio input from your audio output so that you don't get not benefits, so that you don't get that echo. Because once you get that echo, everybody can hear it, right? And we try to keep our clients or people that we're talking with doing the same thing. Please just use headset if you have them, or earbuds, so that we don't get the audio echo that computers don't know what to do with.
Right, and it makes you look a lot more professional when you have something like this. I remember watching back in January and February, I watched these coaches who are very well known, and they were trying to do a conversation over, a Zoom, and then broadcast it on Facebook, and it was a problem because one of the people, she didn't have a headset, and she ended up getting that echo every time, and it made her look like she didn't know what she was doing, and that she couldn't afford to get any help to fix it. Now, they were doing a daily show, and it took her like a month and a half before she got to the point where she got a headset and she didn't have that echo and problem anymore. She learned how to fix it, but it took her that long to get there. And this woman is well known and famously well off now. She made a lot of money in the last few years, and so it's like, why are you letting this hold you back? So don't let this hold you back. This particular one headset that we're showing you is $30, so don't let that hold you back. All right. Next, lighting. We suggest, if you have your desktop set up and your home studio set up, that you do wall-mounted lights. Very simple. Put them up at a 45-degree angle to where you're sitting, and there you're going to get this beautiful flat white light that makes anybody look wonderful. Again, if you go to a video conference and Zoom call and you see a room full of people, you notice who has good lighting and who does not. And it's just, kind of annoying when somebody's speaking and you can't tell that they're the one talking because their screen is so dark. Secondarily, if you want to be a little more portable, or you don't want to do the wall-mounted lights for some reason, maybe you're not in your own home or whatever it is, there's a portable ring light that you can get that's fairly inexpensive. Or thirdly, you can do sunlight on your face, especially if you're out, outdoors or something. But do not have the sun behind you brighter than what's on your face, because then you will be dark, nobody can see you, and the light will be shining behind you, and it's like, what are you doing? Can't see your face.
It's funny, when we're in a Zoom group meeting, you can actually, no matter where we are in the matrix of people that are participating in the meeting, you can literally see the difference in the amplitude of light, I guess is the best way to describe it, because we're so well lit, it actually, our little box in the matrix stands out. And that kind of lighting will make you look good. And the cool thing about it is it's not expensive. When it comes to the ring light, people have a tendency to put it straight across from them. And so you can actually see the ring light. If they're not wearing glasses, you can see it in the catch light of their eyes, but it's right on the center of their eyes. If they're wearing glasses, then it really gets distracting, because the ring lights in their glasses, even if they have, Shelley and I both have the non-reflective lenses, so you don't see any light unless I turn up and you can see just a little bit of what's up there. But when it comes to the ring light, raise it so that the bottom of the ring light is above the top of your head, and then turn it down towards you, and at a very slight angle. Now, so it's above the bottom of the ring light is about even with the top of your head, and then turn it back at an angle towards you, and that'll avoid the reflection, the circles in your eyes, or the reflection in your glass. And it's very even lighting, so you can almost afford to put it when we're shooting Shelley's teleprompter work. If you look at any of our videos where you see Shelley teleprompter, that's a single ring light, and it's higher than she is, pointed down, and then we move it over to the side just a little bit to give a little bit of sculpturing on the face with the light. So you can do that too. It doesn't have to be right straight in front of you. It could be over a little bit to one side. It gives you some very nice sculpting. So.
Okay. So we do have a storefront on Amazon with a home studio kit. And you can go to amazon.com/shop/A Gypsy's Kiss, and you will be able to find all of our kits there. And we have a home studio kit. Do you want to show them now?
Yeah, can we?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll come back. Do you have another slide?
There's more slides, but this is the one where I think to look at the storefront.
Let's break out then. So I'm going to have to close this and come back, and let's see. So this is our storefront, amazon.com/shop/A Gypsy's Kiss. And we have a bunch of kits. You can see here's our microscopy kit. You'd think for as long as I've been doing that, I'd say it. Podcasting, live streaming, Shelley's favorites. There's one down here, Toby's favorites, etc. But we have the home studio kit right at the top here. I'm going to open that up. Now, you don't have to have all of this equipment, but this is equipment we both use and recommend. The only thing that's not here is the headset, which is in the podcasting kit. I'll show you that. Just
the headset's here.
Oh, that's the audio headset.
Right,
I was talking about the Audio Technica, the one that we have on our heads right now. So these are all the components we have. Now, we don't have, of course, the pop-up green screens because our wall behind us is painted green. These are the monitors that we use. They're made by BenQ. This is the computer.
Actually, that's the monitor I have at my house.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is the desktop computer that we do. As you can see, it's only $325. It's a Xeon processor with 32 gigabytes memory and a 2 terabyte hard drive. And that Xeon processor is a workstation class processor. So it's faster than the Dickens, and it's only 300. I think we got them refurbished.
Right. That's why it's so low.
And it's only $325. So here's the ring light that we use. This is the one that we use for Shelley when she's done. I'm sorry, that's not true. That's the 12-inch. We use the 18-inch.
That's the one I have at my house.
Right. Yeah. These are the chairs we have in the studio. As you can see, they're a little bit more expensive, but we spend a lot of time sitting in these
$190
chairs.
is not bad for an office chair.
No.
Especially these chairs. These are amazing, comfortable chairs.
Amazingly comfortable chairs. And you get kind of the $40 benefit, although they do come with your standard office wheels. They also give you a box of blade wheels. And I know from experience, the box of blade wheels is a 40 extra bucks. So it doesn't take me back to where I want it. Yeah, it does. So this is the headset that we recommend. This is the One Audio headset with the attached microphone. Now, this headset is designed to be very versatile, so you can do a lot of different things. It can be just a headset. It can be a headset with microphone. It can be a telephone headset, works as well. So, and it's only $30. This is the camera that we use. This one is the C920, which is what Shelley has in her room. These are the lighting, the lights that we use, the wall lamps that we use. You don't have to be, electrician to install them. You just have to screw them up onto the wall because they have their own switches and then plug them in using these. And these are the bulbs that we use. They're 125 watt. Let's see if they're there. Yeah. 125 watt CFLs, compact fluorescent light bulbs, and they put out a very white, very even light. There's two of them right up there, and they're at about a 45-degree angle up and a 45-degree angle from the center of our set right here. And as you can see, I'm just going to go back here just to show off. I mean, that's pretty damn good even lighting. Not a lot of shadows, not a lot of contrast. It's just flat, even lighting. You can even see that thing that's sticking up out of my hair there. I don't know what's that about. So, and it isn't that we installed these in this studio. We had these installed at my apartment where we had our little, quote, desktop studio, and there were two of these lights there too.
And I have them in my office.
And Shelley has them in her office, and we are consistently the best lit in any Zoom group in which we participate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important. This is a good place to start. Now, we have some other kits down here behind that have some additional equipment that we use as well. The podcasting kit, the studio lighting kit, the live streaming kit. So you can go through any of those. Now, this is our shop on Amazon. You don't have to pay any extra if you buy on our shop. You pay the standard Amazon price, including whatever discounts they're offering. You get the benefit of being Prime, and then Amazon gives us a little bit of a commission on each sale. So, all right. So you want to go back to your presentation,
Mm-hmm.
or is
Yep.
there anything else I need to show the folks?
No,
Not
that's
about
it.
All right.
That's it. Back to the presentation.
All right.
All right. All right. So along with all of your hardware that you're putting together, you're going to want some online property, social media accounts. These are the ones that you want to think about having. I would definitely focus on the one that you're the most comfortable with, and the one that where your clientele, your ideal customer would be most likely to be found. For us, that's most likely to be YouTube and Facebook, and maybe even Clubhouse. And so we focus on those the most. Also LinkedIn. If you're doing a lot of B2B, LinkedIn might be the best place for you. So establish accounts on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Anchor FM, Twitter, Clubhouse, Pinterest, Reddit, and WordPress. Now, I personally don't use Reddit, but Toby does. That is a good place to go to niche down and find people who are very interested in a particular niche.
Yeah, I get people to my World Sand Project YouTube channel by going to Reddit and just sharing pictures of sand that people have sent me. And there's a couple of groups in there that deal with geology that just love that stuff. And the next thing I know, they're showing up on my YouTube videos.
So if you're a very niche person, or if you're talking about your hobby, even like he does with his microscope hobby, then Reddit can be a really good place to find people who share that passion with you. Then look at browsers and free apps. The majority of people use Google Chrome, so you want to make sure that whatever you put out there is going to show up well on Google Chrome. I like Google Chrome. I use Google. I use a lot of Google products. I recommend it. I think it's easy to work with. I recommend Google Chrome, Gmail, and G Drive. G Drive does a lot. You can create slides. You can create Excel spreadsheets. You can create documents, and you don't have to have Office for it. It's free, so pretty cool. I recommend Calendly to get started if you need a scheduling app to, if you want to give out a link where people can schedule a call with you. I recommend Calendly. It's very simple and easy and it's free to start off with until you upgrade. I recommend Headline Studio if you want something that's free. It's a Chrome what do you call it? A Chrome extension that's free, that you can check your headlines and see how they do for attracting attention and SEO. That's a good place to test them out for free. MailChimp, you can start off for free with MailChimp. That is your email provider, and they also have the ability you can build funnels and automated emails and newsletters, and you can even do a website on MailChimp for free. So it's a great place to start. Grammarly is a free app that will check your writing if you're doing a blog, or even if it's a social media post or an email. Grammarly can come in and check everything, make sure that you've spelled everything correctly and that you're using the correct grammar. And it even will tell you things like this sentence is bad tense or something. It's like it's vague, or it's too wordy, or it's this or it's that, and would you like a suggestion to fix it? And you can say, yeah, give me a suggestion, and then it moves the words around that you wrote and makes it sound better. So they go, oh yeah, I want that. So real easy to use, and it starts off free. You can always upgrade, but I don't find that it's necessary to do that. I recommend taking a look at Readsy if you want to write a book, because they have this free tool where you can format your book and take that file and then put it up into KDP on Amazon. And vidIQ is a great little freebie app. It starts off free. You can always upgrade if you want. And it will help you with your videos, your YouTube videos and all of that.
Yeah, that's a good comprehensive list. I can't think of anything. Maybe we use a product called Snappa for.
That's in the paid.
Oh, okay. All right.
So these are free.
Next? All right. Freebies.
Yeah. Yep. So let's look at paid apps and products that we use and we recommend. We recommend Domains Priced Right, which is a division of GoDaddy. If you need to buy a domain, they have really good prices there. That's who we use. Toby's got like I don't know, 50 of them domains. StreamYard is what we're using right now to stream our video and be able to do all of the overlays that you see that's available to you in StreamYard. And we recommend that. It's super glitch free compared to some of the other products that we've used in the past.
And we've used a lot of the other products.
And when Windows doesn't update, it doesn't freak out. A lot of other programs do. They have problems, and Windows doesn't update about every week. So you want to have something that's as glitch free as possible, and we recommend StreamYard for that. Snappa is like Canva. If you've ever used Canva and you prefer that, that's fine. We prefer Snappa. We find Snappa is easier to use. We think it's a little more user-friendly. We like it. Check it out and see what you think. It's really good for creating your YouTube thumbnails. It's good for Facebook posts and banners, and it gives you the exact size that you need. And it's got access to a bunch of free photos that you can, use. It helps you with, writing. You can put in words. It's graphic design basically.
Yeah.
Keeps it real simple. Again, it's a lot like Canva if you've ever used that. Descript is what we use for transcription of our audio files to a blog post, or it just transcribes it, and then it's super versatile. And you can also do your editing if you need to edit your audio file for your podcast. This is the easiest way to do that. Use Descript. There's no learning curve, right, with having to understand editing software. If you've never edited before, Descript is probably the easiest way to learn how to do a simple edit. And then we use Fiverr for other graphic design and short video clips, so that we don't have to spend the time doing it ourselves. Fiverr is a really good little tool for when you need to pass something off to somebody else because you don't have the time or you don't have the expertise in creating something that, like a voiceover or a short video clip, or some sort of graphic that you want done, a logo, anything like that, you can get on Fiverr. Somebody can do it for you there.
I was trying to think if there was anything else that we could recommend. I mean, we use so many products. These are kind of the minimums, right? This is what you ought to consider to get you started. And the nice thing about, as Shelley said, the nice thing about Fiverr is if there's something that you can't do or you don't have the time to learn the application enough to do it yourself, you can find somebody on Fiverr that can do it. And we've done so much on Fiverr that they don't call me a VIP, they call me a VID, I think, because we've done enough business with them that they recognize me with a little star that says, this guy's a good guy to do business with, he pays his bills. But the other thing about it is that we've used several Fiverr sellers consistently. So now we can go back to them. They know kind of what we want. We'll change the colors, the logos, the music, whatever. But it makes them more efficient because they know exactly. I just say, I want this again. If you go to any one of our channels, you'll see a consistent outro, the 20-second end card that YouTube allows us to have, and the imagery, the construct, the graphic design is consistent from program to program. The only things that change are the colors, the background music, and maybe some of the additional information like website URLs and email addresses. So, but the guy that does that charges me less and does it faster because he's done, dozens of them for us.
So before we get into section 3, what strategies utilize that tech most effectively, let's quickly look at speedtest.net to just let everybody know what that looks like and how to do it themselves.
So once you have your system set up, and whether you're using wireless or I'm going to have to open up another tab here, so I'm just going to drag this over here, all right? And whether you're using wireless or Ethernet, we use Ethernet. Our desktop computer is connected directly to the modem through Ethernet. It's a 1 gigabyte service. Now, they don't guarantee 1 gigabyte. What they do is you'll get up to 1 gigabyte worth of service, and it varies. And sometimes it's so low that I restart the modem to get a new IP address, and that brings the speed back up. But you want to know where you are at any given point in time, and the easiest way to do that is to open up a window and go to speedtest.net. So I use it enough that it pops up for me right away. What speed test does right away is the first thing that it does is it determines your ping. And then what a ping is your modem sends a ping to the nearest server, and it tells you how fast that takes place, right? And then it tells you your upload speed and your download speed. So already you can see that my server is an Xfinity server. That's the IP address. It's owned by Comcast, and it's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I can change servers if I wanted to. There's not that one works for me because it's the closest server that I have access to. When I click go, you'll see right away it starts by giving me my ping, how long it took to get a signal from there to here and back. And then it starts measuring, it starts feeding data up and down to tell me the upload and download speeds. Now, what's weird about this is our download speed is so fast that the gauge doesn't go that high, but it gives us the end number. So you'll see it here. You'll see the ping first, right there, 6 seconds ping. Good ping is under, I'm going to say under 15 seconds. If it gets higher than that, you've got a problem. But you can see it's stuck here at 100, but we're seeing a download performance of 470, 484, finished at 425. Now they tell me it's up to 1 gigabyte, but at 425, we're doing pretty good. Your upload speed is never as fast as your download speed, but you can see here our upload speed, which is more important to us because we're uploading right now. We're not downloading. This is going, you're downloading our show. We're uploading our show here, and we have a 40 megabyte, 40,000 bits per second upload speed. And I'm going to strongly recommend that you have a minimum consistently of 5 minimum. And you're going to have to, that's if you're going to stream your show at 720p, the lower rate, 1280 by 720. If you want to do it at 1080p, then you probably want at least 10 megabaud. So whatever agreement you have to make with your service. Now, this over my lifetime has gotten progressively faster and cheaper. I pay $75 a month for this service. Now people say, wow, that's a lot of money for your, well, we need that kind of level of performance. And the other thing is we don't need any wireless interference. Now, this is a wireless modem. So when we're any place else in the house, we're using the wireless system, and I can run a speedtest.net on my wireless, and I will get 125 to 150 download and anywhere from 20 to 25 upload speeds. That's the wireless performance in this house. This computer, our desktop computer in our studio, is connected via Ethernet. It's a cable, high-speed cable. It's not cable like your Comcast cable, but a high-speed RJ, which jack is that? It's not 11. RJ25 jack, Ethernet jack. And that's why we get this level of performance on this computer. It way overperforms what we need, but we prefer it that way. We prefer to overperform. We're never going to have a night where you're not hearing us because our internet is too slow. If it is, it's a problem someplace else than here, right? Because it's connected via Ethernet. So you want me to take you back to your...
Please. All right. So number 3, what strategies will utilize the tech that we are showing you most effectively? We suggest the Creative Campaign Framework, which is basically set up your home studio as we've discussed tonight, then live stream a video at least once a week or more, upload your audio from that video to a podcast, and transcribe your podcast into a blog. When you do that, you are creating basically a social media storm of content, right? And that's how you attract clients, because they can find you, they can learn about you, they can decide if you resonate with them, if you're giving them value, if they want to work with you, if they want to be a part of your community. And we teach that through the Creative Campaign Producers Training, where you can learn to produce a creative campaign to attract clients through content marketing. It's a free training, and all you have to do is go to agkmedia.studio and sign up for it there and get started. One more video. And lastly, please do connect with us. You can schedule a free consulting call to define your social media goals, assess your specific needs, and clarify your best options. And you can do that. You can find us at shelleycarney.com, Younis.com, or you get the solo.to/agkms because I didn't get you to assign a new
URL to it.
URL to it.
All
I
right.
set it up today.
Yeah.
So it's got all of our current links there. What those are is just a page full of our links so that you can find everything that we offer and how to connect with us more easily.
Yeah, I'll give you a screen. You show them what you're talking about there. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to go to. So that's Toby's. You can find all, the phone number, the email, all of, a free mini course. You can sign up for our newsletter. This one actually needs to be fixed. It takes them to the Facebook group for some reason. So we need to fix that one. You can go to our Facebook group. You can sign up to be interviewed on our messages and methods. You can schedule a consulting call, a free consulting call with us. You can go to our YouTube channels, our Facebook groups, our Facebook channels, our Facebook pages. You can watch videos about what we do for people and how we work with people. We have a course on Udemy. We have a book that's on Amazon. So all of our links are there. And of course, we also have at AGK Media. So if I go to
your AGK, the one that you set up today,
that's actually AGK MS for Media Studio, and it takes you there.
Look at you. Very good.
And again, you can schedule a call, free consulting call. You get our free mini course. All of those links are there. So all you have to do is click on them. For instance, click on that, and it takes you right to our scheduling page. We use OnceHub, but we started off with Calendly. Calendly, I think, is a little easier, and it starts off free. So that's why I recommended that over OnceHub.
It's easier it's easier on the management side.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one's a little bit more difficult to manage.
But if you want to sign up for our weekly newsletter, you just click there, and a little form to fill out and sign up. Very simple. So yeah, I would recommend that you try that out.
Click on the little home screen over there. Just click on home. And Google Shelley K. Carney, and you'll see the benefit of using this strategy. So that's the Shelley Carney. When you search for Shelley Carney, and you'll see a broad variety of her social media platforms listed as part of who she is.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, my videos, Pinterest, IMDb, podcasts, and been verified. I didn't. Okay, well, that's good.
I want to see your records online. What are your online records?
Yeah, anyway,
images. The point that I wanted to make is not that Shelley has a lot of Google entries. She has how many? 982,000 results. Now, not all of those are you, but the simple fact of the matter is, when you see this, that means the search engines are starting to recognize that Shelley Carney has a expanded social media presence, and not only that, she has the content to support that presence. So it's not just stories about Shelley Carney; it's Shelley Carney's posts on LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. And that's important. That's because anytime somebody's looking up a topic that isn't necessarily by Shelley Carney's name, they may be looking up live stream coaching. If you do enough of it, you'll be able to go and find it yourself. What are you going to do?
I was looking for that video.
I didn't upload it.
That's okay.
I was going to do it while you were talking. So go ahead and talk.
That's okay. No, don't worry about it.
You sure?
Yeah, we're already over an hour, so
okay.
We'll show it next week.
All right.
But yeah, if you have any questions, if you need any help, if you have tech that you've purchased and you don't know how it works and you don't know how to hook it up or integrate it into your system, please reach out. And we've got all these ways for you to reach us, and we want to help you. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. That's why we're excited to do 3 shows a week and talk about this with you. Please reach out and we will help. We will get you back on track. We will help you set up your home studio. We will get you up and running. And if you want to work with us one-on-one, we would love to do that. And we can teach you everything you need to know in 5 days. 5 days. You will have a live stream channel with a live stream on it. You will have a podcast set up on Anchor that goes out to a bunch of different podcast
Up to 10 different podcast
places and with 1 episode on it. And you will have a blog set up with
Your
a
first
blog post in 5 days. That'll be all ready for you, all set up. And then you can take it from there on your own. Super easy.
And super fun.
Yeah.
Because it's the kind of thing that you've always wanted to do, but had come upon obstacles that, generally speaking, are either financial or technical. And each of those has to be made up for in some way. And we, in our approach, we've reduced those so that they're not a problem. We get you to the point where you're doing your own programming with your own content, your own topics, your own guests, and you're not making massive investments in technology, and you're not making massive investments in the effort to overcome any technical obstacles. That's all I want to say. We're doing it for you, but the thing is, it's that we've done it. There are no technical. Are there issues that arise? Yes. But
because Windows makes changes.
Yeah, Windows makes
we got to
changes.
keep up with the times.
Yeah.
Facebook makes changes. YouTube makes changes, and we got to keep up with it. But once you're set up, those changes are just tiny little bumps in the road, and you just keep on trucking.
And
thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you. We do want to help you. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comments, or you can write to us at agkmediastudio@gmail.com, or give us a call. The phone number is on the screen, and we would love to work with you. Tomorrow, Toby's going to be on his live show at 1 o'clock talking about microscopes, and tune in for that on the World Sand Project.
actually, we're going to
YouTube
take,
channel.
you can't see it because it's off screen, but it's a big box. We're going to unbox and completely assemble from scratch the Amscope T490B compound microscope.
There you have it. And we'll be back again next week with
Be
a whole new
still,
topic.
my heart. Be still.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for joining us for the AGK Media Studio podcast with Shelley, Carney, and Toby Younis. Please subscribe, leave a great review, and comment with questions or ideas for future shows. Share our podcast with your family and friends, and discover how you can become a creative campaign producer at agkmedia.studio, or join our Facebook group, Leveraging Your Content. Check the show notes for links and resources, and please come back again next week.